So just doing some little chores today, out and about, little shopping trip. So in case you can't figure it out, I'm at Costco. And so I thought I'd just give you a little video, just to tell you hello. It's good to see you. Although I can't see you. Next week, I'm planning on doing either some Google Hangouts or Zoom classroom meetings, so I can get to see your faces and talk to you a little bit, see how things are going. Everything's going fine with me. We're all healthy at my house. And let's see, before this, what was I doing? Before the rains came, I was out there doing a lot of weeding. That's picking up weeds, by the way. So here's just a little heads up on what we're doing today. So let's start off with some things that we have already covered. For example, we went over rate, ratio, rate, and unit rate. Okay, the thing about unit rate, that's when you have a denominator of 1. And why do we use that? We like to use that for comparison. So if we want to compare two different mileage, for example, which is faster. Then we talked about proportions. And in proportions, if you remember, that's when we have two ratios that are equivalent. That's what makes a proportion. And we can check that by using cross products, right? 6 times 12 is the same as 9 times 8. And we can also use that to find a missing number, excuse me. And so we did lots of examples like that. And if you remember, whatever is, sometimes you don't have to use cross products. Sometimes you can look at it and tell. And like from 6 to 9, no, you can't really do that. So we have to use cross products. And remember, whatever is diagonal of x goes to the very bottom. I'm sorry, whatever is diagonal of x, those two go together, and these two go together. And then we get our answer. Okay, but sometimes you could look at it and just tell the answer. For example, to go from 8 to 4, I would divide by 2. So that means to go 10 to the other number, I divide by 2. So the answer is, the answer would be just 10 divided by 2 is 5. The answer is 5. And you can see we can do that also using cross products. But sometimes you don't have to use cross products. Okay, so we did a few examples of that. Sometimes you may have to, sometimes it doesn't come out nice and even, as in this case. And again, we can use proportions to find a missing number. So you want to figure out what this number is. You can use cross products and determine what the number is. Okay, and then sometimes we had word problems, such as this. If Robert earns $153 in 9 hours, then how much will he earn in 13 hours? Okay, and we set it up like this. Whatever's diagonal of x goes at the bottom, and the other two go on top. And that's just setting it up. But then we come to word problems such as this, dealing with fractions. And notice that it wants to know for 1 cup. 1 cup. So if you have, if you need 3 3/4 cups of sugar for 1/3 cup of flour, then how many cups of sugar for 1 cup of flour? So you have this scenario, right? You want to know for how much for 1 cup. And so looking at it, you're basically dividing these two. It's 3 3/4 divided by 1/3. Okay, and if we do this, remember, dividing is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. And anyways, it comes out to this answer. So you'll have problems dealing with like this right here today. Remember also in our notes, we did this one about robot races. And these are the results of these robots racing at a school. And you're trying to figure out the rate the rate. And so what we would do is we just take the y over the x. We divide y over x to figure out the rate. All right, and since these are all straight lines, we know that the rate will be the same. So it's going to be 5 over 1 or 10 over 2. And so the answer is 5. The unit rate is 5. We're also able to make these into an equation where the unit rate goes right there, y equals 5x. Okay, so that's something else you'll be doing today, is finding the unit rate. And that's just taking 2 points, taking the y minus the y over the x minus the x. Or basically just y over x. Okay, so you'll see a video on that today also. All right, so watching the video, the videos that NextGen provides, hopefully that'll give you enough information so you can finish the little NextGen lessons. And we'll do this just for a couple of weeks. This will just be review. And then we'll do a little bit more review, got to ease in gently, and then we'll cover new material. So I just want to encourage you to keep your spirits up. All right, this isn't going to last forever. It'll be summer before you know it, and we'll all be out there running around.